Hi, everybody, and welcome to Artichoke Music. Always want to ask first, how many people are here for the first time? Yay, welcome. And also thank you to those of you who come and support shows all the time. A couple of housekeeping things. If you want to turn your electronics off, we are live streaming tonight. And these guys will be able to use part of this for promotion later, so we don't want to have phones going off. Also, for restrooms, we have one here that you probably don't want to use during the performance. So we have two others through the store in the back. There's a restroom, and there's also one up the stairs. So we have plenty of facilities. The other thing is, remember that Artichoke Community Music is a nonprofit. We love it when people come to shows and support us. We have an instrument store in case you want to come buy instruments, donate instruments, consign instruments. We also have a full slate of classrooms up there. So if you sign up for our newsletter, you'll find out what classes we offer. New one that's starting tomorrow night is a jug band class. I'm so excited. A couple other things that we're starting next October 4th, the first Wednesday of every month, we're going to start having a teen-only open mic. So if you know some younger folk that want to get a little stage experience, music, sing, poetry, whatever they want to do, this will be their stage in a very welcoming environment. One thing I want to highlight, we're doing something a little different. We're doing a series with the Alberta Abbey called Artichoke at the Abbey, and it's for a couple of performances that are a little too big for this room. One is Seth Walker, who is an amazing folk, blues, yeah, I think you guys turned me on to him. He'll be on his way to the Sisters Folk Festival, but he'll be doing a night for us at the Alberta Abbey on the 20th. And then Mary Flower, who actually played with Great Aunt last time, who is just an amazing person, and musician. She does a blues workshop up at Minucha in the Gorge. She's bringing her teachers in a day early, Guy Davis, Mamie Minch, and I can never remember the first one, Christina Olson. And we're also going to do that at the Alberta Abbey because we think they're a little too big for this room. So let people know. If you aren't signed up for our newsletter, please do that. We have expanding genres all the time. There's a lot going on here. And we're really excited. These guys got up really early for us today, and they were on Channel 6 AM Extra and did a really great segment with Emily Burris, who's been just so supportive of this whole nonprofit performance space. So I'm going to let Akemi talk a little bit about that and about her name. She'll do a set, we'll take a break, and then we will bring up Great Aunt. Thank you so much for coming.
Hello. I feel like some of you are very far away. Yes. No. I know you will. So. I can sit on the stage behind you if you want. The rowdy folks have come down from Seattle. My name is Akemi. Is actually my performance name is actually my middle name, my Japanese name. My name is Reese, and I am from Seattle, and got to meet Chelsea and Megan last year. It seems like it's been longer because it's been such a fun time. We met up in Seattle. We met again in Kansas City at a big folk conference. But thank you for inviting me down to this lovely space. And Shelley, thank you so much for having this space and this venue because it's so important. I talked a little bit about that on the show this morning. I am one of the directors of Northwest Folklife, and we run a big festival Memorial Day weekend in Seattle at the Seattle Center for 53 years. Well, this year will be 53 years. So the arts ecosystem, a whole nother topic of discussion. Yeah, play some music. And I'm going to start with a song. I was really extra and brought all the guitars because I didn't want to retune. Because it's a big deal to retune everything. But this is called The Sun, which I feel like Northwestern people really get. the thing about when the sun comes out and how we feel a lot happier until it gets too hot. And then after 79, we're like, oh, what is happening? Where's our 75? So. Took my eye off the ball, got hit in the forehead. Lost my kite in a strong, stiff southern wind. Took a chance on the road that no one else traveled. Now I'm lost on the mountain, the air is quite thin. Didn't just rain on my parade. Didn't just snow in the middle of May. But that sun comes out and the rain goes away. And all I need is today. Do you ever feel like that? Now this part is pretty real. Fixed the taillight and found a flat in the tire. Fixed the tire and found the engine was done. Ran steady and strong towards that blue ribbon. Come to find out the race was already won. Didn't just rain on my parade. Didn't just snow in the middle of May. And that sun comes out and the rain goes away. And all I need is today. We've been chasing scattered dreams and clearer skies, but the troubles may come back at any moment, so why pin our hopes so high on merciful white swollen clouds when our liberation is to be here in the now. Took my eyes off the prize, got hit by the system. Lose a bit of my faith every now and then. Took a chance on an ad that no one else answered. Found a bit of that faith come back again and again and again. It may just rain on my parade, but the flowers can bloom now, 'cause it's the middle of June now, and that sun is here, and the rain is quite blue. I hear a voice, and it's telling me to speak the truth, and we need love like the flowers need the sun and rain. And I see you and I feel my race already won today. Thank you. See, that was a faster than a full retune. True story. When I moved to Seattle in, 2007, 2008, I, came looking for music, as you do as a musician, and you're like, who do you play with? Who do you find? I had some friends from my ex now, but my partner at the time, and then none of them were really musicians at all. And so I started looking around, and Craigslist was a thing at the time. Craigslist, before it became all creepy and dangerous. And then there was this Craigslist ad, and somebody was like, oh, I love the Indigo Girls, and I love this music, and I'm just looking for somebody to play with. So I was like, okay, I think I can hang with you. And I answered the ad, and then we've become bandmates for life. Obviously, we live within a few blocks of each other and still hang out. And once in a while, we play together. But I think maybe the day is coming soon when we'll play together again. Her name's Laura. And it is kind of like being in a marriage, being in a band with somebody. So when you say bandmates for life, that can go one of two ways. All right. This is a newer tune. I would like to say that being an arts org administrator that I indulge in art, but I don't always have so much time to do that. But these happened in those little years called 2020 and 2021. You come to me with your hands clenched. Is this the trouble that we both sensed? How many nights have we met at this place before? Is this old or is this new? Is this the best that we can do? When will it be enough instead of always looking for more? Dark comes down, but I can't sleep. Searching through these memories I keep. Every angry moment wasted in our story. The words they play and hold me down. Nowhere to breathe, no sight, no sound. No wonder I wake up weighted down with this worry. How about you? How about me? How about us and what we can be? How many times will we get lost and find each other again? Remember then, remember now. Remember us in this somehow. And the start of something new just means that something must end. You come to me with your arms out and carry through the sea of doubt. You know that we were laughing not so very long ago. Is there joy deep inside sorrow? Where you go, my love will follow, even when it feels like we're sinking far below. Rains will come and we will bend, and if we bleed then we shall mend. Can you hold a little fire for the coming storm? The wind will rise to lift these sails, and we'll try again when we both fail. It's worth the battle when you know just what you're fighting for. How about you? How about me? How about us and what we can be? How many times will we get lost and find each other again? Remember then, remember now. Remember us in this somehow. And the start of something new. This means that something must end. How about you? How about me? How about us and what we can be? Times when we get lost and find each other again. Remember then, remember now. Remember us in this somehow. In the start of something new. This means that something will end. Thank you. Thanks for listening. Relationships, the fodder of so much, so much artistic work. All right. It sounds so funny to say this because I've never played this outside of the state of Washington, but this is my ode to Washington. Being not a born there Washingtonian, I've gotten to explore several places, and then places that I keep being told I need to go, and so I look them up and I say someday I'll get there. But just so many different varied landscapes. I think the same with Oregon, right? You just one side of the state, north, south, northeast, southwest. It's all has its own charms, and so this is my travel song. Take me from this concrete jungle, though I know the way I stumble. Night is long, but we still move ahead. These old bones, they're tired now, but managing to hold somehow. The only thing we'll miss is our own bed. And we go on and on this road. 100 miles to Long Beach shores, or passing east into the gorge. Either way, we'll find our Mecca soon. Tulips greet the morning skies, they wave and seize the passerbys. The peace arch beckons, singing a new tune. And we go on. Take it on the road, take it off the line. Got no place to be this time. Take it up with God, take it down the tracks. Got no time for looking back. Take it on the road. See the world through twilight eyes, where heaven-bound Olympics rise. The oceans weep and forests roll away. From many islands in the sea, deception past eternity, and all remaining doubts are held at bay. And we go on and on this road. Now and then we'll take a pause and lend ourselves to some great cause. Along the way we'll make some memories. Ferries cross the span of sound. The ocean goes round and round, and soon we'll end up just where we should be. And we go on. Take it on the road, take it off the line. Got no place to be this time. Take it up with God, take it down the tracks. Got no time for looking back. Take it on the road. the dangers of the folk song when you like have so many words and they're like something's bound to come out funky. Anybody recognize my geographical and landmark references in Washington? Yeah, I've only been a little bit to the east side of the state, but I was in Yakima just very recently, and it was just a lovely town and really interesting because there's like huge agriculture of green, in the middle of the desert, and so it's just definitely a place that I need to go back and check out a bit more. I'm gonna invite great aunt, the aunties to the stage. We got together, and I was like, I can't hang around and travel around with the musicians and not, play something with them. So roped him into a couple tunes. Also, you got a stand-up bass player and a mandolin player. You gotta make use of that. No pressure.
I think I've decided that after our awkward TV debut this morning, we're going to call ourselves Akemi and the Awkward Hands, as we all sat on the couch at Coin TV, not quite knowing what to do with our hands. We can show you some photos as evidence.
There was a really great point too where Akemi was asked a question, and at the same time Chelsea and I synchronise, turn our heads and go,
Like those bobblehead toys that you see.
We're going to add that as a little reel on our... I think we've
They tell
peaked.
you to not look at the cameras and be conversational, but then
we
as soon as they tell you that, then you want to look at the cameras and they're like, no, don't look at the cameras. Just look at each other. Nod awkwardly like you're listening. All right.
Which one we doing?
Well, the folk singers have, traditionally have to have the semi or fully autobiographical song. So here it is. Going out of tune in 2 seconds. And yeah, what I'll say about it is that, I grew up in Hawaii. I grew up on Oahu mostly. I have grandparents in the Big Island and in a very Japanese household. So, culturally, some quirky things, as with many families, and sort of a heritage and history. And then we transplanted to the middle of the Midwest, right between Chicago and Milwaukee. And then that was different. And what it was is like, I really, my mom was kind of a hippie, so she played guitar. She used to listen to Peter, Paul, and Mary. And my dad was an audiophile, so he listened to Beethoven, the Bee Gees, and whatever have you. But I really dug a lot of the folk music, and I just didn't see a whole lot of people like me playing folk music. It was just a thing where you look at who's on TV or you listen to the radio and look at album covers and you're like, where am I in this? I feel like my story doesn't have, it has some shared commonalities, but I don't see myself. And I think after I wrote this song, I was like, oh yeah, that story, there's of course unique parts, but that story is something we share, having a story, and there are points along the way that we can all relate with. So this is a little bit about that. Mama G's sitting at her sewing machine. She's taking up hems and she's taking out seams all night by the pale moonlight. By the day she is driving that old bookmobile, got her eyes on the prize and her hands on the wheel. That's right, it's a living, not a lie. Daddy's waking up for the 5 a.m. That land tax takes 3 jobs just to pay the man. Gotta do what we can. Never could imagine, and he sure never knew, working his way right through 72. It's a hell of a strife. It's a living, not a lie. And the wheels keep on turning as we go, and so they keep on going till we're all 6 feet below. And the wheels keep on rolling down the way, and we're here, so there ain't no more to say. Big sister been gone with her family up north, been searching for years to find a sense of self-worth. Well, it comes and it goes, no matter what the heart knows. She's got a place for perfection and a mindfulness state, and every now and then she got too much on her plate, but she's also got fight. It's a living, it's a lie. 15 years ago, come around the bend, and the wheels slid out. Now I'm on the mend. 15 years gone by, now I'm walking tall, but the days rain down, and I'ma live them all. I had a lot of good intentions and some four-legged friends. Found those people I can always depend upon. They're singing along. We make a little money, but it's never enough. Still get by when the roads and the rivers get rough. That's life and it's tough. And the wheels keep on turning as we go, and so they keep on going when we're all 6 feet below. And the wheels keep on rolling down the way, and we're here, so there ain't much more to say. That's so pretty. Love it. And I noticed low string wasn't exactly where it should be. Oh, that's why. This is the tuning song. Musicians know it well. We cover it a lot. Especially when we travel, because our instruments are like, no. Especially that G string. That G string. I was just saying that. Doesn't matter what it's tuned to. It's always ornery. I hope it's okay that I'm storytelling a little bit about the songs. I just feel like, a little context is nice. This is actually currently a favorite of mine. It's like, how do you have a favorite song as a songwriter, but it's something that makes me feel nice. I actually have a friend who lives in Florida now, but he was in Seattle for many years. He's from Cuba originally, and he's an artist. His name is Juan Alonso Rodriguez. He has beautiful art, and I saw a picture of one of his studio presentations one day. Had some different art arranged in it, but he has a series called Baranda, which is, I think it means veranda, but basically his father made ironwork on their home back in Cuba, and he took some of the shapes from the ironwork and worked it back into his painting. And he was a musician at one time too, so if you look at his artwork, which I highly suggest to look up, it's very musical, and so it's art, inspiring art and reflection. Staring at the walls, windows to the places we once were before. Lines have drifted, ink and stone that once were homes stand here no more. Green and purple, leaves of red, sand above my thoughts of you. Squares and circles, leave the thought of framing one last word of truth. Color blocks and hollyhocks, black and white, iron rails in fine detail. Wash the canvas blue, turn it into one door closes, another broken down with tears and fears and heart. Eyes are opened, I look across the great divide to own my part. Paper cut out in relief, black and gray, sing the words we cannot speak, find another way, right the wrongs into a song, and then take it day by day. Colored blacks and hollyhocks, black and white, iron rails and fine detail, wash the canvas blue and turn it into, turn it into, turn it into. Thank you. I just have a couple more for you, and then we get to listen to Great Aunts. Yeah, actually, go visit his work in the historic Central District of the city of Seattle. He and a few other artists, they built new developments in a historically black district that a lot of people have been priced out of. And in one of the developments, they started to bring back, there's a black arts gallery and center called Art Noir, and then up above on the apartments, there were artists that fabricated each of the railings, and his hollyhocks is up there, and it's beautiful. It's in steel. But it's a lovely way for artists to sort of remind us of history and bring us back to a place in time, in a place that's rapidly changing, as I'm sure you folks have that feeling here in Portland as well. All right, I'm going to take you on a little roller coaster here, down and then up. I wrote this song quite a while ago, and it was one of those tunes. I often take a song and take a few years or months to complete it, and this song, a few things that happened that came together all at once. Sort of the inciting factor was the decision came out about Trayvon Martin's killer, who basically got off on the stand your ground, whatever you want to call it, law, portion of the law. At the same time, there was a lot of down south talk about immigration, and then somebody on my Facebooks posted the entire quote by the pastor Martin Niemöller, who talked about, they came for the Jews, and they came for the socialists, and then they came for, I believe, the Protestants. And so the quote has very many groups that actually were incarcerated or had been confined to homes throughout the course of the rise of Hitler. And in the ensuing and pre to that. And then, the end of the quote, as many of you have seen, is who is left to speak for me, because I didn't speak up for any of those folks. And I think we're seeing that, maybe that pushback now, the things happening down in Tennessee and Florida. And so I keep playing this tune because I feel like it's a good reminder until things really do change. They seem like they were on a different trajectory a few years ago, and now they've seemed to have gone backwards. So this is called Stand the Rain. It's a listening room, right? You can hear acoustic. Set the guard and raise the fence. Hold off your demons where they once went. Hold in the fear that makes you proud. Check each card and check the crowd. Whose profile are you looking for? Where there's one, you know there's more. Where there's two, let's keep them there. Greet with caution, greet, beware. Who will stand the rain? And who will take the blame? And who will call their names when they are gone? Take a pound of flesh and bone. Don't stop now, you're not at home. Don't stop till you cross the line. Keep to yourself and your own kind. Lies we tell ourselves to keep. Our spirits broken, cut so deep. Spirits rise, so take good care. Don't cross over beyond repair. Who will stand the rain? And who will take the blame? And who names when they are gone? What seems fair in stilted times? Make up reason and violent rhymes. Make up truth and turn away when right does little and too late. What use is constant vigilance? Vigilantes without consent. Justice seeks to speak the last, so raise your hood and raise your glass. Who will stand the rain? And who will take the blame? And who names when they are gone? And who will stand the rain? And who is left to blame? Who will call our names when we are gone? Thank you for listening. Let's have one more tune for you, which I always try to vow to end a little bit on the upswing. So I shall play my very first instrument, besiding my voice, I'm sure, but right. One more tune, and then probably maybe have a tiny break. Is that usually? And then we get to listen to the wonderful tunes of Great Aunt. Written, for context, on New Year's Eve of 2016. And for those stateside, probably knows what that means. But I was at the southernmost point of the United States, not contiguous, in the island of Hawaii, the Big Island, at a place called South Point. Ka'u and the town of South Point are technically the bottom, and then you have to stop driving at some point, and then you have to walk a ways out to the Green Sands beach, and there's some cliffs there. So, being very reflective and a little heavy-hearted on that day, we noticed there was a very thick fog rolling in, which is very unusual. I mean, there's always fog, but there was unusual amounts of smoke, something. And we had found out later on the way home that 26 acres of lava field or land had just vanished into the sea, had broken off and been taken back to the sea, as often with the island. And so the fleetingness and transiency of life and nature. I'm standing on the beach, the world is crashing down, but the only thing I see are sunset colors all around me. The sky before I wake was raging pastel fire. The words are burning down, propelling us to higher ground tonight. I'm south of all the problems when I'm standing here, and with this moment left to me, I'm wishing you a very good year. They say her tears flew out like the shattered midnight sky. And if we move too fast through sorrow, joy might also pass us by. Her voice a glassy surface, a blue so deep I fell. And if we make our way back to the top, what stories I can tell. I'm south of expectation when I'm standing here, and with these words left to me, I'm wishing you a very good year. And then the veil was lifted, 26 acres lost to sea. When hearts and minds have drifted, will this remain a mystery? The road ahead was clear until the winds blew into town. Our eyes are stinging now, and we are drowned out by the silence. The clock was running out, then begins again. Whatever broken pieces gathered up for us to take and mend. Somehow I'm south of all the problems when I'm standing here. And with these words are left to me, I'm wishing you very, very, very good year. Very good year. Thanks for listening. Thank you, Shelley and Artichoke, for having me. And take a break, have a drink, and wait for Great Aunt to come back up.
good evening. Or g'day, if you like. We said g'day.
That's the most awkward
It
you've
is
ever
the
said
most
that.
awkward, yeah.
Good day.
I don't actually say it like that. We said it in
Good
Texas
day.
the other day and they said, say what now? Good evening is better. Thank you so much for coming to hear a couple of Australians play some folk music in Portland. Who would have thought that would be a thing that we'd get to partake in? I recall very, very lovely memories of Artichoke. I recall being incredibly nervous because they were the first notes that we played in America, and this room is very, very special, and we appreciate the opportunity to share some music with you and to share the night with our friend Reese. Especially now that we've started the awkward hands, I really think that's a milestone.
And legs now.
I tried to cross my legs towards the announcer and I think that made it even more awkward. We're going to do something a little strange. We often start with a particular song, and we're not going to do that. We're going to start with something that is mostly entirely an instrumental, except for the chorus at the end. We're in the process of rewriting this song because we were really inspired by our trips around Maryland, the Appalachians, and it's incredibly beautiful, incredibly friendly, generous place. We drank some proper moonshine at a house party in Maryland.
It was the last show we had for that first tour.
And then we got pulled over by a state trooper about half an hour after that
And panicked.
for a busted front headlight. And I don't watch Cops, so I was unaware of the etiquette that you're not supposed to take your seatbelt off
She took it off, and I'm like,
and try to get out of the car.
What are you
So
doing? What are you doing?
Megan was screaming
Panicking.
at me, panicking. So we have this song in progress. It's called Moonshine in Maryland, and it's mostly instrumental. It reflects how we feel about it. It's there's some burgeoning words. You'll hear them at the end.
I packed my bags and I made my bed. I drank some moonshine in Maryland, and sure I'm scared, but I'll take the chance.
Thank you, folks. Thank you. It was a song in a different format, but It was
It is every time.
The moonshine was made by a gentleman that described himself as a proper, Appalachian country gentleman. He was also a biotech major who made the purest moonshine that apparently was ever available in Maryland. So
It was really good.
this is a song called "It's All Downhill From Here." It's about forgetting, being forgotten, and the remaining 3 days that we have in the US. I think we might have peaked. Hope you like it.
Wrote a letter to my love, but they won't even know I'm gone. It'll be some days before I missed it all. They won't know that I'm gone. This ticket is a one-way fare. It always was downhill from here. I lost your gaze and your hand. You don't know the half of it. We waited here in wooden seats. Yours was there right next to me. I'm sitting here in the line. There's still a place, but not for long. For something else to take your mind off the life that we had. Waiting there while you roam. Wrote a letter to my love, but they won't even know I'm gone. It'll be some days before I missed it all. They won't know that I'm gone. I lost your gaze and your hand. You don't know the half of it.
Thank you, folks. Appreciate it.
Oh, yeah.
We were decidedly uncreative in our 267 days of lockdown in Melbourne, Australia. We were the most locked down city in the world. I think we wrote 1.5 songs, and one of them was a angry, shouty song about all the injustices of. Pretty sure every musician has an angry COVID EP or album called Virus or something. Virus parts 1 through 7. One of the songs that we wrote was a reflection on how divisive a time it was. We found ourselves at odds with friends, with family, having shouting matches with strangers on the internet. And
Remember when the internet was a nice and new thing, and you'd have like ICQ or AOL, and you'd get a message like, "Uh-oh," and it was your new friend from wherever.
now we just
fight on the
post
internet, right?
inflammatory things and disagree and have a decided lack of respect for each other. But there's a lot of trolling and baiting that goes on as well. This was a song that we wrote as a kind of a love letter to a friend that we found ourselves becoming a bit distant from. And we named it for a show that we watched a lot of in lockdown, which was Schitt's Creek, if you guys have seen Schitt's Creek. 267 days of Schitt's Creek equals a lot of...
Equals 5 times over.
Equals 5 times watching through Schitt's Creek. There's a line in that show where Stevie and David kind of bid each other facetiously, sarcastically goodbye. They say, "Best wishes, warmest regards to you." And this is Warmest Regards.
I lost you, my friend. We didn't make it in the end. It's just the way it is. And there's nothing to be said except so long and farewell. I wish you well. We had our differences, and we learned to live with them. But some things were said were more than opinion, and you would start a fire, and I would put it out, and now I'm just too tired to deal with the fallout. It's so long and farewell. I wish you well. And I was wondering how we're worlds apart. And I was wondering how we'd come so far. But now I'm sending my warmest regards. How does a friend not know a friend's own heart? I lost you, my friend. Didn't make it in the end. It's just the way it is. There's nothing to be said. And I would start a fire, and you would put it out, and I'm just too tired to deal with the fallout. And I was wondering how we're worlds apart. And I was wondering how we'd come so far. So now I'm sending my warmest regards. How does a friend not know a friend's own heart? It's just the way it is, and there's nothing to be said.
Thank you, folks. Appreciate it.
So when Chelsea and I first started this, we hadn't really decided on the instrumentation. We'd sort of just met, and I was starting to write some melodies, and we tried jamming on like our normal instruments, which for me was an electric guitar and you was drums, and definitely didn't quite work, especially me with all my pedals. And
We have a burgeoning side project going called Bad Aunt, where we electrify all of our instruments. Or mediocre aunt, neglectful aunt,
below average aunt.
below average aunt. Right. Megan is. We were fraudulent for a while. Megan is actually now an aunt. An aunt. If you can't understand what we're saying, an aunt. You have a 1-year-old niece now. Before that, we were fraudulent aunt.
Now I'm just disappointing aunt.
Disappointing aunt, who's rarely there.
Yeah.
I'm annoying aunt. My brother gets frustrated that I show up with all the noisy toys for my nephews. So I'm a drummer, so I show up with all the drums. This is a song called Tell Me When It's Over. It was the inception of Great Aunt. It's got a stomp and a clap if you'd like to join us. You got it.
tell us when it's over, the quicker it comes. For some others, there's no omen, only morning means nothing at all, except for their lovers. Told my brother I can't go on. I found failure every corner I turned. There's no purpose and hope is long lost, and there's no kindness in strangers no more. It's a funeral and it's a farce. I found faith in nothing, there's no trust. Say a prayer for me, for I'm lost. See each other for what we are. Time will tell us when it's over, the quicker it comes. For some others, we can wonder, congregating together for loss. We should do better.
Help us out now.
Drop your armor, let down your guard. Never feel warmer against two beating hearts. Drop your armor, let down your guard. Never feel warmer against two beating hearts.
Thank you, folks. Appreciate it. It's called Tell Me When It's Over. There's a really lovely clip for that on YouTube. We have a friend who's a wonderful cinematographer and film director, and we've done a series of video clips of our songs. I think the highlight of those is that we're in none of them.
That's why they're so beautiful.
They're really beautiful.
Because we're not in them.
A couple of them are animated, a couple of them are kind of narrative pieces. There's a really beautiful one for that, featuring a wonderful Sudanese-Australian actress. Want to do cover?
Yeah, do you want to do Dusty Dust Bowls? So this song is by an American folk singer called Brittany Ann Trambell, and she is absolutely phenomenal. And she's from Philly, and we first heard this song walking the hallways of the Folk Alliance conference, and someone else was singing it, her friend Rachel Sumner, and I'm like, what is that? That is so good. And it really resonated with us because it's about, I guess, people. We have a lot of people in Melbourne that love country music, that love Western swing, honky tonk, Americana, and all of that. And there's Western swing bands and there's honky tonk bands, and none of them have been to a honky tonk in their life.
They sing about working on the farm, but they go to their day jobs in IT and architecture.
And lawyers,
after they
and
get changed out of their cowboy boots, and
they haven't had a hard day in their life, to be honest.
And some of this is self-reflective too. It's what is it to be a folk musician or sing country music or bluegrass music or blues.
I think it's just a matter of acknowledging that the type of music that we play, that is blues music, that is jazz, that is rock and roll, that is a lot of music, contemporary music around the world, it's black music. And we are here and we are playing it and we are honouring it and trying our best not to appropriate it.
Absolutely, but to play it with authenticity and sincerity, I guess, is the point. This is a song called, it's a Woody Guthrie reference you might recognise. It's called Dust Bowl Refugees.
Say I met Billy on college campus. He said, I'm one of those old-fashioned men. I've got a song for you, pretty lady. She thought, Jesus, here I go again. God damn these boys from the suburban northeast, dressing like Dust Bowl refugees, strumming on their great-grandpa's old banjo and making a silly little mess out of me. He liked to sing about freight train jumping. He's driving in his Honda Accord. She liked to sing about Lord have mercy, only been to church maybe 3 times 4. God damn these boys from the suburban northeast, dressing like Dust Bowl refugees, strumming on their great-grandpa's old banjo and making a silly little mess out of me. He liked to sing about trouble, trouble. He's only troubles when his iPhone breaks. He liked to sing about devil women. Forget to mention there is Tinder dates. God damn these boys from the suburban northeast, dressing like Dust Bowl refugees, strumming on their great-grandpa's old banjo and making a silly little mess out of me. She knows that he's not the real deal. I guess he sings it like he means it. The music suits his tenor. But then again, who's the real deal anymore? You can be whoever you wanna be, just buy the accessories at the store. God damn these boys from the suburban northeast, dressing like Dust Bowl refugees, strumming on their great-grandpa's old banjo and making a silly little mess out of me. And all the songs are like 1, 1, 4, 1, 1, 1, 1 to the 5 to the 1. Hey, ho! Sam, these boys are much worse than me. I just think that, baby, now I see. If you're playing folk music in this century, you're probably culturally appropriating somebody.
Thank you, folks. It's Brittany Ann Tranbauer. She's fantastic. Megan's going to retune.
Because I don't have the luxury of bringing lots of guitars with me, Reese. So I'm going to be annoying. Maybe break a string, in which case I'll just head over to your guitar stand, right?
Would you please put your hands together for the wonderful Akemi? Thank you for sharing your beautiful music with us. We get to do another show together tomorrow night. We're playing in Seattle at the Royal Room. If you've got any family, friends up that way, send them down. It's us and Akemi and the Go Janes as well, who are a really wonderful folk band from Seattle. We'll continue with a song called Freeburg. It's about a lovely little town in regional, rural Victoria, the state of Victoria, where we're from. We spent some time there, deliberately and not deliberately. We were due to go on a US tour and it all kind of fell through, actually pre-pandemic, for visa reasons and then pandemic reasons. So we made a couple of attempts to come over here and they kind of fell through. So we were delighted. This is our second time over and playing shows, which is lovely.
We're real lucky to be
We
here.
are real lucky. This is a song about loving where you're at, even if it's not exactly where you thought you were going to be. It's called Freeburg, or the tuning song, whichever you prefer.
I think
Whiskey birds to hail my heart, lovers cry from dawn till dark. Lights go out from time to time, but the campfire's lit so we're just fine, just fine. Eggs and beans, potato hash, a coffee pot as black as black. I'm so wound up from city life, but now we're here with no but time, but time. I remember you like a bitter cold, my halfway home. Quiet bird, she is to hear, sweeter, deeper than a river. There's not much else than just to be. And sit and think and sit and think and sit. I feel a bit more right here, stood at my feet, relentless thrill. Couldn't be without your love. I feared I might never be enough, my dear, my dear. I remember you like a bitter cold. I remember you halfway home. Evergreen, my halfway home.
Thank you very much, folks. It's called Freeburg.
You want to move on to Rezo?
Yeah, no, Bowen. That's fine as well.
We can do Bowen.
No, we don't. Well, yeah.
No, let's do it.
We often don't discuss a set list and just go with the vibe of it. This is that other song that we wrote in that, date range between 2020 and the end of 2021 for us.
The years that shall not be mentioned, the years that shall not be named.
And we were living in a house that was set for redevelopment, and it felt like Groundhog Day every day, and we spent a lot of time just kind of enjoying stopping and not having to be anywhere, which was really weird for us, having toured pretty heavily for the years beforehand. And we ended up learning to enjoy our time together in matching sweatpants. There's a really great restaurant that sort of started up at the same time everything got shut down, called 1-800-Lasagna. And
It does what it says. You dial 1-800-Lasagna and they bring you home-style lasagna in a really crappy little hatchback, and it's delicious. And then they brought out a line of limited edition 1-800-Lasagna Sport tracksuits, 1-800-Lasagna Sport.
because eating lasagna is a sport.
A competitive sport. We are actually world champions in the competitive sport of lasagna eating. If you'd like to join our team, just come see us later. This is a song called Barwon Avenue, named for where we were living at the time and about the feeling of being stuck in place.
said I'll start tomorrow, whenever that is. 'Cause today's like the last one, and the one after that, and the one after that. I pray that it is. Not at all like this. I've got a long list, but there ain't nothing real to do. Forgot who I was while adding more before I even knew. 'Cause today's like tomorrow, it never really ends. Didn't think it'd be much at all like this. Getting dressed up, baby, with nowhere to go. It's another day away from everything we love. So I pour another drink, and I hope it's the last one for me. Get your good shoes on, baby. We're gonna dance up a storm. The porch lights are waiting for our private disco. So I pour another drink, and I hope it's the last one like this. I said I'll start tomorrow, whenever that is.
Thanks, folks. Appreciate it.
So this is the next song that we're going to be releasing. It's a different kind of tuning song. Sort of going sort of back up, but not really. Usually I have another guitar with me, a resonator, but it was just too much clicky. What have you lost? The beater and stuff. The strap. Might be in the bag, maybe. I think I saw it in the bag actually out the back. Yeah, I'll keep talking. Chelsea's just doing a costume change. She's I won't say it. This is being broadcast, so pick my moments. Yeah, I know. Hi, Mum, Dad. I already need to apologise for my dad for not bringing over the resonator, which is the guitar he gave to me. Best dad gift ever. But we just couldn't afford all the extra baggage costs. And it's so heavy and also so delicate that I just so scared that it would get absolutely destroyed by the baggage handlers, much like the huge crack that you may have noticed in Chelsea's bass. So
I still love Southwest Airlines. They're better than any Australian airline, but they did do a little smashy of my bass.
Smashy. They are great though. Back home with any of the airlines we travel, I need to argue with them about just carrying a mandolin on. But we figured out a way through that. Because I'm so short and I'm carrying a mandolin, they think it's a lot bigger than it actually is. Even when we're walking through Charlotte Airport the other day, a lady with TSA was yelling at me going, lady with the guitar. Like it's way smaller than a guitar. So Chelsea always just walks through with it because it really looks tiny when she's carrying it.
We split up the duties in Great Aunt according to height. I am the height. Megan is the talent, the brains. This is our punk folk song about all the things that we hear as women working in industries that are not traditionally occupied by women. We're musicians, we're rhythm section players, we are audio engineers, I'm a brewer and a forklift driver, and we hear some stuff that, makes you a little discouraged at living in 2023 and still having to feel like you have to prove yourself. Women and anyone who identifies with any spectrum of femininity, including all the wonderful drag queens that are being currently banned and excluded from spaces. And
but they're reclaiming their space too. Like there's this one beautiful drag queen that if you haven't heard of, I hope you go and listen to her. She is currently #1 on the Christian Billboard charts. Messing with the system. Her name is Flamey Grant, and we highly recommend. Yes, Amy Grant.
So this is a song for the girls. It's an open question. It's called "What's a Girl to Do Now?"
Why don't you smile just a little bit more? And don't you go around looking like you've been asking for anything more. These ain't my rules, it's just the way. And behind every great man's a girl and way. It's for your good and know your place. And tell me what's a girl to do now? What's a girl to do now? Is she too quiet or is she too loud? She's a big girl, queer girl, new girl. It's not allowed. She's been trying just to be seen, but she's still 80 cents in a dollar store. Till you take her at her word. Eyes on her back, cause she gon' look forward. She ain't real till she look real good. She ain't worth a cent in a dollar store. Till you take her at her word. Eyes on her back, how she gon' look fine. She ain't real till she look real good. Say my rules, it's just the way. And behind every great man's a girl and way. It's for your good and know your place. And tell me what's a girl to do now? What's a girl to do now? What's a girl to do now?
Thank you, folks.
Man. Well, I'm in the. We don't need a third tuning song right now, I don't think. Might be a bit much. Yeah, okay, cool.
Thank you so much for supporting live music at Artichoke Cafe. We really appreciate you guys coming down, and we appreciate Shelley and Gary, Matoush, and all of the people that make this a very, very special and supportive space. Thank you for letting a couple of Australians play some folk music at you for a little bit. We really appreciate this. Has a beautiful community around it. So there are some folk clubs like this in Australia, but we wish there were more. So please continue to support it in any way that you can. Tell your friends, come back, introduce new people. Everything helps. This is a song for family, about diverse families, the families that you make for yourself. It's called "O Cruel World."
My mother, she told me why the world wouldn't want to treat me right. I wondered why, what I had done to deserve this life. My father, for he cried, his little girl was gonna have one hell of a fight. He couldn't hold her hand, was a lesson to learn on her own to make a stand. Oh, cruel world, oh, my girl, treat her right. Oh, cruel world. My sister, we said goodbye. I knew it wasn't you all this time. My brother, you'll be alright. For the first time I've seen you smile. My lover, I'll hold you tight. Never let go while I'm alive. We'll keep each other safe. Try to make the world a better place. Oh, cruel world. Oh, my girl. Treat her right. Oh, cruel world.
Thank you very much, folks. Okay, we got two more songs for you. We're going to do a very strange new song that we're enjoying, still continuing to write. So this is what a work in progress sounds like for us. It's I think we've been listening to too much Punch Brothers. We love their music so much. We like the idea of a song that starts somewhere and then goes somewhere very different, something that's through composed. And this is a song about getting stuck in your head and maybe what it feels like to be anxious and sad in the modern world, but also to have people to rely on. It's called "Get Me Off This Cliff."
Something's changed in the air. And we're waiting still. begin to climb until our hands bleed. We can't see. It's a beautiful dance, you know all the steps. A bit right in Heartland. Do you look the part with no rhyme and no rhythm? Hey, I got a system. Won't you help me down? Let me get down. Won't you help me down? Let me get down. It's a little bit like a ride on training wheels. Maybe you'll fall, or maybe you'll fly. But mostly you'll fall into a pretty dark hole when no one's around, but everyone's down with it. Let me get down. Won't you help me down? Let me get down. Get me off of this cliff. I'm sure it's higher than it is. And I can't see through the clouds to turn all these voices down. Beyond reason and doubt, I should have these moves figured out. But this is a dance for two, and I need you to lead me through. Won't you help me down? Let me get down. Won't you help me down? Let me get down. Won't you help me down? Let me get down. Won't you help me down? Let me get down. Get me off of this cliff. Won't you help me down? Let me get down. I'm sure it's higher than it is. Won't you help me down? Let me get down.
Thank you very much, folks.
So we'll do one more for you. It's the last single we released, which was a little while ago now. It's on a CD that we have printed here, and we only sell it at gigs and at festivals now, and we call it Great Aunt Plays the Hits of Great Aunt. And it's real funny because we don't have any hits.
So it's a blank CD, so you can
And you
take
can
it
put your favourite songs on it.
make a mixtape and bring it back to us.
And then when you play, it'll be like, oh, that's them. Oh, aren't they sweet? And then you'll remember us.
We'd appreciate if you'd take it away and put some Akemi songs on it and
Yeah.
send it back to us,
Yeah.
and then we'll be like, oh.
Oh, isn't that nice?
It's got some songs that we've recorded and released as singles. We do all our own recording and production, and for that reason, our debut album is due out in about 300 years. So if you'd like to pre-order... it has escalated. If you'd like to pre-order it now, we'll take your credit card. We live at number 1 Australia Road, Australia, and you can track us down
It's
there.
a real address, I promise.
We're
good for it.
Yes, Australia doesn't have a history of being a penal colony or anything. We're really trustworthy
Oh, yeah.
individuals. Thank you for listening, folks. This is our last song, we have some CDs and shirts and any weight that you can help us take out of our baggage would be greatly appreciated.
It's called "Oh Won't You Save Me." It comes with a beautiful clip where there's a little being looking for some support. But first they find a bottle of wine, a bottle of Shiraz to be exact. And so, because they didn't have anyone else, they drink the bottle of Shiraz. And then, due to the magic of animation and daydreaming, they ride a Shiraz wave, which is something I have done many times.
I do love a Shiraz wave. Ride responsibly, I think, is the key. This is about looking to your people for support, being able to ask for help when you need it. And thank you for listening. We've been great aunt or great aunt, whichever you prefer.
One is an infestation.
One is an infestation. The other is the way we say it in Australia and Boston. This is "Oh Won't You Save Me."
Oh, won't you save me from myself? I've been trying and I need help. My heart's been turning to stone and my eyes are dry. I can't cry no more, I keep turning to wine. Oh, I keep turning to wine. Oh God, I've tried. And I keep hurting both you and I. And I've been down thinking about how I might die. My life's burning like a candlelight board, and my heart's fighting 'cause I thought I would. And I keep turning to wine when there ain't enough water, and I keep turning to wine when my life seems harder. And I keep turning to wine to make it all a bit brighter. When there ain't enough wine, I'll be turning to water. Oh, won't you save me from myself? I've been trying and I need help.
Let's do it one more time.
And I keep falling from the highest high. And I get up now for one last try. I drank my courage and I shot my faith. I'm gonna need some help, oh, if I'm gonna stay. All my days I've been washing away. 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 Won't you save me from myself? I've been trying and I need help. Oh, won't you save me from myself? I've been trying and I need help. Thanks, folks.
Thank you, folks. Thanks, all the wonderful artichoke folks. We appreciate you guys. See you again sometime.
You okay?